Hello, guys. It's your good friend Chad Marco here again, and I just wanted to do a short video on a certain show called Dragon Ball Super. Now, as you know, I'm a big anime fan, so I've been checking out this new Dragon Ball series because I'm a huge fan of Dragon Ball Z. As you can tell, my mixtape is called Super Saiyan Kush. So yeah, I'm just going to give my thoughts quickly on what I think about the show. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to explain seven things that I think are good about the show, and also seven things that I think sucks ass about the show. So why don't we get started? Okay, now as you know, Dragon Ball Super is the continuation of Dragon Ball, which I think ended sometime in the early 90s. But even though the show ended like 20 plus years ago, it has still managed to be one of the most popular, most talked about anime in the fucking world. I mean, Black Twitter, you always see like Dragon Ball memes and shit like that. So that just shows how, the staying power of that Dragon Ball has. So really, it's a no-brainer that they would bring the show back. So let's get started. All right, the first thing that I like about Dragon Ball Super is it's fucking Dragon Ball. It's like, I mean, come on. Like I said, it's one of the most popular shows in the fucking world. Like one of the most popular cartoons in the world, most well known. The characters are memorable and everything. And like to this day, people still debate power levels. People still overanalyze fights and conversations and compare characters. I mean, this bringing this back, they had to bring it back. I mean, that's just free fucking money. Like Dragon Ball, despite the fact that it ended so long ago, it still managed to remain extremely popular. And people always compare the new shows to it. It's still one of the most, probably the biggest shonen in the fucking world. Like only stuff like One Piece and Naruto can really compare to it. And okay, number two. Now, this is what I think is sort of underrated about Dragon Ball Super in particular is it's legitimately funny. Like it's not just action and fights. Like the little slice of life bits are, they're kind of hit and miss, but I say they hit more than they miss. I don't find it like completely unbearable to kind of just sit through watching Piccolo babysit Pan, or the little funny shit they do on the side like Vegeta cooking and shit like that. And but also they're like those heartwarming moments, like just those moments that just that almost make me tear up, like really beautiful sweet moments in the show. And I think they do that very well. Those slice of life bits are done extremely well. Okay, now number three. This is a big one for me. Vegeta and Goku's chemistry. Now, if you don't know, like I'm a huge Vegeta fanboy. I love he's my favorite anime edge lord, and I love seeing that they finally just accepted that Vegeta is like he's a big name in Dragon Ball. I mean, you see, like it's ever since the beginning of Super, Goku and Vegeta have been basically inseparable. They've been like Batman and Robin, Naruto and Sasuke, whatever. They are now. It's not just Goku anymore. Like I don't feel like it's just the Goku show anymore. It really feels like Goku and Vegeta are a dynamic duo, and I think that the show really benefits from that because I feel like sometimes people just get tired of seeing the same character do the same moves, have all the fights, have all the glory. I think that's kind of boring. Like just for example, a show like Naruto, kind of what makes it so good is that yeah, you have Naruto, but he has such a great supporting cast of interesting characters that other people can kind of get behind. if they're not feeling Naruto. And at least, at least now, it's, of course, characters like Yamcha and Piccolo and even Gohan that fucking fell the fuck off the face of the earth. But at least Vegeta is kind of picking up the slack that a lot of characters have kind of just let fall to the ground. Like, he's really picking up a lot of slack and still hasn't had his big moment, but I just love seeing them work together the way that they are now. Okay, number four. Now this is kind of, some people may disagree with me because some people, they prefer like the hand drawn art style of the original Dragon Ball, and I kind of agree. Like, that has a certain flavor, but it is nice being able to see Dragon Ball in HD. So that's another good thing about it, is that we get to see Dragon Ball like with all these pretty colors, 1080p, HD on the big flat screen and shit. Like, it's just beautiful. It's gorgeous to look at, and I look at it like it's a treat. Even though the hand drawn shit was dope, like, this does have its own like its own like, just it's very new age. It's very modern. It's nice to see Dragon Ball with a new paint of coat. Now, let me get a little sip of water real quick. Okay, number five, the Future Trunks arc. Now, I gotta be honest. The first three arcs, I wasn't really feeling like that. I mean, of course, the first two were just remakes of the first of the two movies that were released, and they did a good job of keeping it interesting by switching things around, adding new content, changing like the flow of the fights and stuff like that. But to me, Dragon Ball Super didn't really become official until the Future Trunks arc, when Black showed up. I remember I was in GameStop and I had stopped watching Dragon Ball Super for a while, and somebody was just like, some dude was talking to the cashier about like Goku Black, and he was like really like interested, like like he was really like, oh man, like nobody knows who he is, and I was like, damn, like people are really paying attention to this shit now. Like, I think when Goku Black showed up, that's when people finally started really focusing in on Dragon Ball Super and were like, oh man, shit is getting real now. And also, what I liked about it was that there was a sense of desperation. There was a real sense of struggle that wasn't there in the previous three arcs, because of course, like I said, the first two were based on the movies, and even though, a god of destruction has come, that sounds like a big deal, but when you know how it's gonna play out, it doesn't have that same sense of struggle and desperation. And Frieza, come on, who gives a fuck, right? And the little like short tournament, I forgot what that shit was called. It was that tournament with Champa and his fighters from his universe. That was okay. That kind of brought back the whole tournament thing. Going way back to Dragon Ball in the first tournament with Krillin and Roshi. So that kind of brought that, the whole, like, I think everybody loves a tournament arc, but I feel like that was done kind of poorly. It was just okay. Probably the hypest moments from it were like Vegeta, his fight with Cabba and showing him how to go Super Saiyan, and Goku versus Hit, and when he pulled out that fucking Kaioken times 20. Those were like the only highlights from that arc. But Goku Black Saga really solidified, to me, it really made Dragon Ball Super official. It just, that sense of dread was back, and like, how are we gonna beat this guy? This is such a bad situation. I mean, he was just destroying everything, killing everyone. He had the immortal Zamasu in the body of Goku. It was just crazy, and Goku and Vegeta were just getting stomped out like every week. It was so bad. And Trunks, poor Trunks. Oh man, but yeah, that arc really, that arc is fucking official. Like, definitely a classic. I think that's the first classic arc from Dragon Ball Super thus far. All right, now I know I just said fuck Frieza, but I have to admit, I like the fact that now in this new tournament, this the Universal Survival Arc tournament, I love that Frieza is an ally. At first, I was like scratching my head about it, but then I realized, like, man, Frieza being an ally makes things so much more interesting. You know, I mean, Boo is cool, like he's a reliable fighter, but as far as like his chemistry with the other guys, with Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Piccolo, there's no chemistry there. I don't think he's just so aloof and in his own world. All he cares about is fucking absorbing shit and eating chocolate. So there's no real chemistry there. And even though he is extremely powerful, but with Frieza, not only do you get, you know, someone in the same tier of strength as Goku and Vegeta, you know, they have such a past, like they have a deep past together, you know, like uh him, of course, the big fight between him and Goku. Vegeta was basically his slave, and Frieza beat his ass all kind of ways and shit. And then he came back, and with the whole Golden Frieza thing, even, you know, going back some more when Future Trunks came and had to get rid of him before Goku had arrived. I mean, there's just so much history with Frieza that him being an ally now just makes things so much more interesting. It's so much better than if Boo was there. I hate to admit it, but it is what it is. So I love that he's an ally now, and also I really want to see him get desperate. You know what I'm saying? Like, usually when you see Frieza desperate, it's against Goku, it's against Vegeta, it's against Trunks. It's against one of the good guys, but you know, eventually in this tournament, he's gonna have to fight. So he's gonna have to sweat. He's gonna have to break a sweat. You're gonna see those little scratches on his face and everything. So I really can't wait to see Frieza get serious in this tournament. Okay, and last but not least, what I like about Dragon Ball Super is the latest arc, the latest saga, the Universal Survival arc. But not only the arc itself, I mean, you know, because as we all know, it's a Royal Rumble tournament thing. But, and I'm still kind of iffy on like the whole format. You know, I think a lot of people would agree with me that it might have been better if it was like, you know, like the Dark Tournament in Yu Yu Hakusho or some shit. You know, like 1-on-1 or, you know, teams 1-on-1 thing. But, you know, we'll see. You know, we're still kind of checking it out. Like, okay, you know, even though it's like halfway through now, but I think what's good about this arc isn't really the whole tournament thing. It's just that it's introducing so many new characters, that people are gravitating towards, and I think new characters are really needed right now because so many of the old ones just can't really keep up. You know, they've just really been left behind and are irrelevant. And it's like, who the fuck can stand up to Goku? So that they pretty much had to create some extra bullshit, like other universes coming to fight Goku and friends. And, you know, we got new characters like Kale and Caulifla. Now they're kind of infamous right now because a lot of people hate them because they're so strong out of nowhere. And a lot of people love them because, you know, we've always wanted to see female Saiyans in Dragon Ball. And I have to admit, I love Kale. I love her personality. I love how she's timid and awkward, and she's just so adorable to me. But also she's cute. Like she's got like a little tan, and of course the whole Broly thing just makes her so interesting because she got like the whole berserker factor going on, and she can control it now. Like, I think she's a really cool character. And Caulifla, I didn't like her initially, but she's starting to grow on me. I think she's cool in relation to Kale. I like them as a duo. But yeah, she's definitely growing on me. Cabba, he's kind of weak. I don't really, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I think Cabba, he's just too bland of a Saiyan to really be interesting. But we'll see. Who else? Jiren, you know, like he's like this big mysterious figure, this powerhouse who everybody wants to know, like, how is he so strong? You know, what is his personality like? Like, he's just this dark, mysterious figure. Then you got Dispo, cool, fast motherfucker, look like a rabbit, like, you know. And who else? They've definitely introduced a lot of different characters. Oh yeah, now Hit is another one. Now, when I first saw Hit, I didn't really like him, but um, I like him now because going from that first tournament to this one, like, I think one of the things that's lacking in this tournament is like real powerhouses, like real, there are only like a handful of people that are in the same tier as Goku, and Hit is one of those people. And like I said, at first I didn't really like him, but I like him now because he's made the tournament a little bit more interesting because he's just so strong. And his particular techniques are severely overpowered. I mean, he's on some Dio shit. But yeah, that's about it as far as what I like about Dragon Ball Super. Now we're gonna get into the ugly, the bad, the ugh. Okay, now comes the bad of Dragon Ball Super. Let's get right into it. Now, the obvious quality, quality. Now, admittedly, they've begun to fix these problems. I've seen the updated, like Blu-ray dub version of Dragon Ball Super, and it definitely looks significantly better. But as we all know, when it first came out, it was, oh my, whoa. I mean, it was okay. Like, at first it was okay, but once they started like animating the fights and shit, we saw like, oh damn, like, oh boy, this might not live up to our already, low expectations. And it did not look good out the gate as far as the animation, the visuals. That first fight between Goku and Beatles will always, like, that'll go down in fucking quality history. That was just horrible. And not only that, but even now, I mean, I have to give them credit. I saw a big shift in quality around the time the Future Trunks art has started. Like, that's when it started like looking good, actually looking like, oh wow, this is a new Dragon Ball. Like, this is cool. But even now, there's still like bits of quality here and there. Like it just don't look good sometimes. But but also I understand that these animators, these artists, they work on a very tight schedule. They got to put out a new episode every week. So I understand that it's they can't always have everything looking super amazing and fluid animation, every frame beautiful, beautifully crafted. I understand there's gonna be some quality here and there. Even in the old Dragon Ball Z, you see plenty of quality screenshots, but I think it was particularly bad early on. I'm just glad that they're fixing it for the Blu-ray releases. So, but yeah, that's definitely something I just liked about it early on. Okay, now this is a big one. Excuse me. Now, damn. Now, a lot of people, when it first came out, they were like, I'm excited about it, but I'm gonna wait till the dub comes out because the dub is considered to be, like, at least for American viewers, even amongst like hardcore anime fans, like people who are just straight up subs over dubs. Fuck you, dub, motherfucker. Like, like the motherfuckers that take that shit real serious, even they admit, like, the English version of Dragon Ball Z is kind of the definitive accepted version in the West. So a lot of people are kind of holding off on watching it until they pretty much waited for the dub, and I think the dub is around, like, I think they're just reaching the Goku Black part, if I'm not mistaken. But me, I can't wait. I said, man, I gotta watch this shit now. Like, I'm up to date. I know everything. I've seen every single episode since it came out. And as far as like the sub versus dub thing, I have to admit, The sub version is actually it's really grown on me. It's not that bad. I mean, because I'm so used to watching sub anime now. Anyway, it really wasn't that hard of a transition for me. I understand for a lot of people, they don't watch a lot of anime, so they don't want to, they're not as used to it as I am. But it wasn't that hard to get into for me, and you know, especially certain voices like. I like Vegeta's voice. It's not that raspy. It's really like a cool, like he sounds really cool in the Japanese version. And Piccolo has a cool voice. It took a while for everybody knows Goku is voiced by like some 100-year-old old lady, and the voices. It took a while for me to get used to that, but I can see the appeal of that voice. Like it's very like fun and lighthearted. I even like Goku's voice now, and man, Boo's voice is so different. It's like oh my god, like it's really. I think it's definitely worth checking out those voices, but that's not my complaint here. My thing is that while the voices are okay in the Japanese version, the music bland as fucking hell. Bruce Falconer, my man, who did the music for the dub version, the American version, he killed that shit, bro. He breathed new life into that shit. No joke, man. And the music they got in this shit now is just. I'm sorry. In fact, fuck it. I'm not sorry. It does not hold a candle to that shit. You can shit on the dub all day, all you want to, but you gotta be a dumb motherfucker to think that they have made better music than Bruce Falconer did for the American version of Dragon Ball Z. He killed that shit. Like the vibe. Like I even went back to Dragon Ball Z and just to compare like the music to the American one, and it's so different. It's just like it totally changes the vibe of the show. Like with that Bruce Falconer soundtrack, it makes everything so much more grittier. It's grimy, it's darker, it just got the vibe just changes totally. And even in Super, I was kind of hoping they took a note from that, but you can't really, not really. But they just haven't. It doesn't live up to the American version of Dragon Ball Z. It does not live up to that music. That music is fucking godlike. It really puts it on the. It really took it to a different level. I mean, fuck the dub, all you want, but that music was fucking official. Like he did his damn thing. Shout out to Bruce Falconer. They need to hire him and fire whoever the fuck they got making that boring ass shit. I mean, a couple of the tracks are okay. I like the one that played when Vegeta he went berserk when Beerus had slapped Bulma. Like that was a cool track. And some of the like slice of life like songs, like little simple shit. But generally to me the music is just weak compared to the Bruce Falconer soundtrack. Just had to get that out of the way. Alright. Number 3. Super Saiyan Blue seems useless. Now let's go back. Let's rewind. Let's go back a couple dozen years. Now Kaioken. When Kaioken showed up, it seriously turned the tide of battle in favor for Goku when he fought Vegeta. I mean, without Kaioken, he would have fucking died that day. Kaioken saved the fucking planet from Gallic Gun. Like, never forget that shit. Kaioken was legit. That shit was real. It was official. It did its damn thing. Super Saiyan. Super Saiyan allowed Goku to defeat Frieza. I mean, in beautiful fashion, blonde hair, blue eyes, and just slapped this motherfucker up, had him chopped up, and I mean, just fucked him up. Super Saiyan, like, official, legit. I mean, it did its damn thing. Super Saiyan 2. Gohan. Super Saiyan 2 allowed bitch ass little 12-year-old Gohan to beat Cell when Goku couldn't even defeat him. I mean, I think you see where I'm going with this. Like, before, when they got a new transformation, that was it. that was a game changer. Like whoever was the big dog at that time. I mean, even Vegeta's little like Super Saiyan 1.5, that even gave him the edge over Imperfect Cell when just a little bit before he was getting his arm broke by 18 and shit. Like, come on, like back then transformations really meant something, and ever since the introduction of Blue, it hasn't lived up to what you would expect it to do. I mean, you're a fucking god. I mean, you got God Key now. I mean, I would be expecting these motherfuckers to not be losing at all nowadays. But it seems like they're losing more than ever. And just for example, Goku and Vegeta first get Blue, right? And then of course Frieza shows up. Now Goku fights Frieza, and then he starts getting the upper hand. Of course, he got Blue. Everything's cool. Motherfucker let his guard down and get shot. I mean, all right. Maybe that's not the fault of Blue, but that's a bad way to introduce that shit. You let Goku get this new powerful ass form, have Frieza catch up like that, then he just gets shot in the back and laid out like a weak dumb nigga. I mean, come the fuck on, bro. Like that shit was just weak. Then Vegeta come. Oh shit, it's cool. Finally, we get some revenge. Boom. Whole planet gone. Like, come the fuck on, man. Like that was the worst introduction for a new transformation ever. But it don't stop there. I mean, even before that though, when Beerus showed up, he got this, Super Saiyan guy, the red one, right? And it's like, okay, it was a good, okay fight. But Goku didn't win. He got a brand new form, but he didn't win. Like, he still lost to Beerus. I mean, even though that loss didn't look so bad, I mean, Beerus is a fucking god. But still, like, you get this new transformation and you lose. But again, that tournament arc, where Goku and Vegeta had to fight Universe 6, I believe. Now, Vegeta fights Hit. Got blown the fuck out. I mean, let's face it, he got blown the fuck out. I mean, now you've had time with Blue. You got the mask, you got time to fucking get the shit right, and you just get blown out. Goku fights him. Combines it with the Kaioken and everything, and my memory's a little fuzzy on that fight, but I don't think Goku won that fight, right? He did not win that fight, or he definitely didn't win convincingly. It was like a draw, or like Hit barely won or some shit. But yeah, just another example of just a bad showing for Super Saiyan Blue. Even with the Kaioken, it didn't really do what you wanted to do. And let's not even talk about the fucking Goku Black art. I mean, Goku Black was just stomping all over these. Like, I mean, they had Blue and everything. They probably went to the hyperbolic time chamber like 2 or 3 times and still were just getting their ass beat. Every time they went, they had to go back and forth from the future, and like, just because they kept getting their ass beat, they had to run away like 2 or 3 times. I mean, Super Saiyan Blue just has not lived up to its name. I mean, so far, it's one of the lamest transformations. I mean, and not only that, it looks tacky. I mean, the whole blue hair thing, I still don't really fuck with it like that. It looked tacky, like. The only time it really looks cool is when it's like when you see it with the aura, like the blue and the yellow, like that pretty ass aura. That's the only time it even looks right. But just like the whole blue hair Goku and Vegeta, that shit it still look tacky to this day. Excuse me. I had to swig some water. I had to go in on that shit. I mean, damn. All right, so fuck it. Let's get to the next one. Okay. Number 4. A lack of impressive fight choreography. Now, this is a big complaint from a lot of fans. I like to troll the threads on the anime board on 4chan, and one of the most common complaints that I see is that, well, to put it simply, you know what I'm saying? Like, most of the fights are just like those fast, like punch throwing moments, like when the only thing they're doing is like punching and kicking really fast, and you can barely see like the movements. It's so fast. It seems like at least 70% of the fights are just that, like those you know. And when you look back at Dragon Ball Z or even Dragon Ball, there was much better just choreography for those fights. I mean, there was more just like it just seemed like there was more thought put into every little movement, like, oh, he just punched and he dodged it, and then he kicked him, he swept the leg, and I mean, just for example, excuse me, just for example, Vegeta versus Raccoon, that fight, that's a beautiful fucking fight. I mean, there's just so much going on. Even though that there is like a few moments of I mean, that's to be expected. Like these motherfuckers are fighting fast as hell, so it's expected you would have those. But there was so much more to that fight than just those rapid punching animations. And also Goku versus Vegeta, the first one or the second one, take your pick. I mean, so many examples of great fights. Tien versus Yamcha. I mean, just so many fights that had beautiful, complicated, complex choreography and just really cool fight. And I feel like that's missing from Dragon Ball Super. Like a lot of these fights, man, like they're cool on paper, but I don't think they're gonna stand the test of time. Like I don't think a lot of these fights are gonna be fights that you go back to and are like, damn, like whoa, like that was a cool fight. It's only cool on paper, but when you actually look at it, it's really bland and just a lot of beam. Oh, it didn't work. The beam didn't work. I mean, really, it's disappointing, man. And like the latest example of that I think of is round one between Goku and Kefla, the fusion of Khalifa and Kel. Like this is supposed like that fight. Like even though it's not even hasn't really gotten serious yet, that's like a big fucking fight. Like that's a new fusion we've never seen fighting Goku. That fight should have been epic. Should have been all over the place, and it was so disappointing. I mean, these fights are supposed to go down in Dragon Ball history, and when we go back to look at them, they're not going to be that impressive. I mean, it's sad to say. But moving on. Now, number 5, Dragon Ball Super it seems to be less violent than before. And I heard someone mention that it might be because of the time slot that it plays on in Japan or something, but like it's a very like I don't know like it's like a children's time or some shit like that. But whatever the case may be, I mean it's undeniable that Dragon Ball Super is significantly less violent than its predecessor. I mean, because when you look back at the fight, I mean, and I don't mean just in terms of blood and shit like that. Even like the sound effects for like the punches and shit when they connect, it don't even have the same like boom. Like you could just imagine like ribs being broken and like tissue being torn. Just all kind. I mean, they were bloodied up. I mean, they had blood coming out their mouth, out their eyeballs. You seen scratches all over the bodies. I mean, Goku versus Vegeta, you look back at that fight, they fucked each other up. I mean, they showed the battle damage that you would expect from that kind of fight, and that's missing. Now, I can't remember the last time I've seen even a drop of blood in Dragon Ball Super. I mean, even when, Goku Black like stabs Vegeta or Goku, there's no blood or not even like a little like like edited blood or nothing. It's just corny and weak. Like it's missing. Dragon Ball Super is it's too kid friendly now. It's missing the edge that it had. It's missing that Dragon Ball edge that made it good. I mean, I know it's a show, kind of directed towards children and teenagers, but still, is that's part of what made it so cool was just that intensity. When you have people this strong fighting at such a high level, people are gonna get hurt. I mean, dude, let's not forget, TN got his fucking arm punched off. Let that sink. He got his arm punched off, not sliced off. He didn't get it punched off and grew it back like Piccolo. No, he got his arm dead ass punched off. That shit was no joke. And I don't even want to think about that fight between Videl and that Majin guy. Oh my god. That fight is so hard to look at. Damn. But yeah, it's Dragon Ball Super is really missing that edge, that blood, that violence, I gotta have that violence. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even gonna front. I gotta have that damn blood, boy. All right. Now this is kind of a minor problem that I have. Like this was just like a one-time thing, but hold on, let me get a sip of water. This is just a minor thing, a minor problem that I have with it. You remember that fucking special, the quote unquote special, when it was the fight between Goku and Jiren, and it was like all hyped up and shit. There was all this promotional material for it. Like they skipped a week. They played 2 episodes back to back just for this fight. And I was like, oh shit, it's gonna be cool, man. It's gonna be cool. Now, don't get me wrong. The animation was beautiful. It was a beautiful it was those were 2 dope episodes, but I just felt like it was overhyped. That really bothered me how much hype they gave a fight that didn't even conclude. Not only that, it goes back to my original point about the introduction of Blue and how, you got this new form and it doesn't accomplish anything. Of course, Goku got the Ultra Instinct during this special, but it didn't do shit. It didn't. He barely got like a significant punch on Jiren. Like he put like some marks on the side of his face and pushed his feet back like 3 inches or some shit. It didn't do shit really. So I was just disappointed that they hyped up this fight like it was gonna be like a big turn of events when nothing really happened. Like Goku went and got his ass beat, got a new form, still got his ass beat. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't the special that they were hyping it up to be. It was impressive, but it was impressive because they had extra time to work on it. So of course it was gonna look good. But to me, it just didn't live up to the hype that they were putting behind it. I hope that they don't do anything like that again unless it's gonna live up to that shit. Alright, now the final problem that I have, another minor one, is some of the character designs seem kind of lazy to me. Now, of course, with this whole introduction of 7, 8, 12, some odd different universes, and their respective gods of destructions and Kais, etc. You got all these new people coming at you all at once, and some of their designs are pretty cool. Like just for example, that black girl, that black god of destruction bitch, like she has like a Cleopatra thing going on. But some of them were kind of just like just so boring. You have the chance to make a fucking god of destruction, and you make this fucking black fur ball looking thing. And what the fuck is this? Come the fuck. Some of them just look so like somebody just drew it up in like 10 minutes, bruh. And even that a robot god of destruction, like it's just a fat bland robot. It should have been like a fucking Cashern, sleek, slim android, like a cool robot. Like just some of the designs of the characters that they introduced, and also some of the fighters in the other universes, just weak. Like just what the fuck is going on here? Like why? Like you have this opportunity to make all these new cool characters, And of course, they did some. Some of them are really cool and interesting. I can see them even having, developing a fan base of their own. But a lot of them are just so bland, man. It's just really, it's tragic. It's a waste, man. But yeah, that's my final problem with Dragon Ball Super. Yeah, I mean, to sum it all up, I'm glad that they've decided to bring Dragon Ball back. I mean, even though it's not perfect, is having a hard time living up to its expectations. I mean, Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, those are huge shoes to fill. I mean, there are some people who believe that Dragon Ball hasn't been good since fucking Namek. So, some people you'll never please, but and I hate to say it, and I want some input. I want to talk to someone who has no prior knowledge of Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z, but have watched this and are keeping up with it. And because I don't see how you can really enjoy this without having prior knowledge of Dragon Ball. I don't see how you can really enjoy it without knowing. I mean, just for example, like when Vegeta, he had to stall for time because Beerus was pissed off, and then he grabbed the octopus and cooked them, and it was so unusual for him to do that. But you will only understand why that's funny if you know what kind of guy Vegeta is, if you know like how serious and no nonsense he is. That's what makes that moment so funny. Or seeing like Piccolo babysitting Pan. I mean, you gotta know, like, that motherfucker was a demon back in the day. Like he was ready to kill He was trying to kill Goku back in the day. I mean, and just a lot of the character interactions. I don't see how you can really, get anything out of it without knowing the past of Dragon Ball. So I feel like the problem with the show is that it relies almost entirely on its history and nostalgia to be relevant and good today. But yeah, that's I still enjoy it. I love that it's here. I love just seeing that Dragon Ball is alive and well again. You go on Twitter and people are talking about Dragon Ball. There's new mysteries, new power levels to debate. I love that we are having these conversations again. I mean, it's beautiful to me. So yeah, just tell me what you think about it in the comments if you are watching Dragon Ball as I as am I. And new episode tomorrow. Hopefully our girl Kefla doesn't get knocked the fuck out, but it's not looking good. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. And I might just start doing like a little analysis of each new Dragon Ball Super episode that comes out for anyone that's interested. Yeah, so just look out for that. I might be doing that in the future. So yeah, you guys have an awesome day, and peace out.